As per usual, I'm a day late and a dollar short, but for whatever it's worth, here's my 2 cents on the Walmart Birkin nuttiness. Or really, here's more like my $78 on the Walmart Birkin nuttiness. My 2 cents. Man, that's a weird idiom, isn't it? Welcome back to A Briefcase of Luxury, where we love to chat about all things related to life, learning, and luxury. While I have no intentions of quitting my day job as a business professor, I would love to continue to grow this channel, so thank you for being here today. Now, I don't know if I've been living under a rock because it really does feel as though I've entered an alternate reality when I woke up one day and not only was my YouTube feed filled with something about a Walmart Birkin, but my regular news feed was as well. So as someone who does not have TikTok or Instagram or Facebook for that matter, like it's a miracle I even have a YouTube channel, to be honest. So I guess in a way I have been living under a rock. So when this whole mess about a Walmart Birkin exploded on TikTok, let's just say I was completely unaware until YouTube and the news outlets started to pick up on it. Now, before I get going, I'm old and long-winded, okay? So just bear with me. First off, y'all, happy 2025. Today is January 1st, and I hope you like my new background. I decided to swap out some bags for a change of scenery. Plus, I just got done filming my video for this upcoming weekend where I share with you all of my Kelly dupes. So stay tuned for that and what that means for my 2025 bag wish list. But I did want to come on here because I feel like I can't talk about my Kelly dupes without first acknowledging this whole viral Walmart Birkin dupe situation. So many creators have jumped on the wagon to add their commentary as well. So I really feel like everything that needs to be said has been said to some degree and very eloquently by others. I think collectively we've established why this has gone viral and why there are so many polarizing views about this specific dupe. Now that I'm looking at my background in the camera, it feels a little inappropriate given the topic of today's video. I do unproportionately have a lot of Hermes bags going on behind me, which I know some people may find offensive, but let's just go ahead and add fuel to the fire. I feel like if you're gonna talk about the Birkin, dupe or not, it's mandatory to show what you have in your collection that's related. So, here I have my real Hermes Birkin 35 in Togo leather in the color raisin with palladium hardware that I bought from Fashion File. Now, say what you want about using a Birkin for work, but this works for me. Now, I'm not saying that only a Birkin will work for me, but I do enjoy using this for work. Now, if you want to call this next one a dupe, go ahead. It is my Mulberry Mini Base Water in this high shine leather in eggshell white. Now, I can't tell if the mini base water is truly discontinued. I bought this at the end of 23, beginning of 2024, and it's no longer consistently available on the Mulberry website, which is a shame because I called this a dupe for the Birkin 25, but better, not only because of the price, but because of the detachable shoulder strap, which this new Walmart Birkin dupe has as well. So points for that. Now, I paid approximately $8,000 for the Birkin pre-loved and about $800 for the Mulberry. Plus, we have on the Birkin, we do have an Hermes Twilly as well as a Kelly glove clip. This one is in Rouge Cellier Swift leather with rose gold hardware, both of which were ridiculously pricey as well, especially for simply serving as bag decor. Now, I know price is a little sensitive to talk about given the nature of the topic of today's video. For some people, $800 is a ludicrous amount to pay for a bag, let alone $8,000 plus several $100s worth of trinkets. So having a dupe for under $80 with real leather nonetheless, I suppose that is worth talking about. So let's get right down to it. Am I opposed to a Birkin dupe? No, clearly. Like, my robust family of Kelly dupes is evidence enough that I have nothing against dupes. I have everything against counterfeits and replicas, yes, but dupes, no. It doesn't affect me one bit, both as a regular person as well as an aspiring Birkin enthusiast, shall I say. Like, I would love to be offered a Birkin in store one day, but I'm doing none of the things to get me closer to that dream. Instead, I will more likely be buying another pre-loved Birkin sometime in the future, and the fact that dupes exist haven't stopped me from still wanting another Birkin, not even if it means saving thousands of dollars on the dupe. Same with the Kelly. I love my dupes, but I still have plans to buy the real thing. Next, do I think this devalues the actual Birkin? Again, no. Also, these are just my opinions, okay? We'll see if Hermes's shares take a plunge after this level of hype. By the way, to date, I have made a 95% total gain on my Hermes shares over the years, while my LVMH gains have tanked to a measly 9% now. Now that's neither here nor there because I'm more of a buy and hold type girl when it comes to shares. So these fluctuations really don't bother me much. But back to the topic of whether this is going to devalue the Birkin or the Hermes brand in general, I think no, for a few reasons. Now, whether or not you carry a dupe or even a replica doesn't affect how I personally view the real thing. Nor does it affect how I feel about personally carrying either the dupe or the real thing. And I might eat my words in the future because I know a lot of people now feel as though the Louis Vuitton monogram has been devalued because it's been counterfeited for so long that many people feel as though even if you were to wear the real thing, others might still think it's fake. Like when I went to go try on the mini Palm Springs backpack in store, my husband just kind of laughed at it because he thought it looked like every other knockoff bag out there. For me personally, go ahead and think it's fake. That works in my favor. I learned that when I visited Istanbul and I mentioned how in a sea of counterfeit bags, I felt serenely safe wearing my real designer bag because no one wants to risk stealing a fake bag when the probability seems high that it's more likely to be fake. Now, I don't know how sound that logic is, but that's where I'm at the moment. And finally, here's why I haven't particularly been affected by this bit of viral news, other than the fact that I know nothing about what goes on TikTok. One, I recognize that I do live in a handbag bubble, and while real Birkins are a dime a dozen in my handbag YouTube bubble, that's not reality for most people. For instance, I have yet to see someone else where I live carry an Hermes bag, period. So I get that the people that are freaking out about this are those that may not be handbag enthusiasts per se, but rather they're just being sucked into yet another viral trend moment. In handbag circles, at least, Birkin dupes, least of all, have been around for what feels like decades, right? So two, this type of hype is not new at all. Dupes have been around for as long as designer bags have been around, and even dupes on Walmart have been around for years. For instance, Walmart has sold checkered bags online for years and years and years. So this, to me, is just another trend of the moment. Now, granted, last year was the first time I heard of the term dupe economy, and maybe I just haven't noticed it before, but now you can find dupes on every single online platform. I've gotten some of mine off Etsy, off Amazon, and there are even more like legit companies with their own websites that focus on selling dupes. So think Tiffany and Fred, Lily and Bean. I mean, even Teddy Blake used to do Hermes dupes before transitioning away and adding their own spin to the basic Kelly or Birkin silhouette. But again, I know of these brands because I do live in a handbag bubble. I don't expect the layperson to know about the ins and outs of all of this. Now, relatedly, think about it. The Roe Margot bag has been around for almost, 7 years? It was first released in 2018, but it didn't turn viral until like 2022, 23. And even then, I would say this viral trend is slightly more contained or prevalent among fashion or handbag enthusiasts. And don't get me started on the Stanley tumblers last year, right? And how the world acted like they've never seen a metal thermal insulated drinking vessel before. I haven't kept up, but I can only assume that the craze has since died down, which I assume will be the same case here. Heck, by the time I post this, the viral moment may already be over and done with, and we've already moved on to the next thing. If anything, this shows me that it's not about the product itself. This isn't about the power of the Birkin. It's about the power of social media, right? And it's also not necessarily about sticking it to Hermes. It's about being part of a community in a weird way. It's about partaking in something of the moment together. And sure, there's a lot of consumer psychology behind this as well. It sparked a lot of conversation around just the disparity between the price tag of what on the surface seems like the same product, especially in light of recent allegations about labor rights violations and manufacturing processes of certain designer brands. And again, it brings to light consumer classes and wealth distribution gaps at a time where spending $8, $9, $10,000 on a handbag seems completely out of touch for most people. And for a company to dream about charging 10K and up for a handbag is just as bad and epitomizes everything that's wrong with capitalism, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, if you want the dupe, get it. If you want the real thing, get it, right? Like, it's not that complicated. So I guess I just didn't get the memo. I still don't get the hype, but I'm clearly not the most trendy of people. So let me know if you have strong thoughts one way or the other, or are you as over it or as unaffected as I am? That's all I wanted to say about it. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your first day of 2025, and I'll see you this weekend.